Ladies and gentlemen, normal service has resumed at Forest Green Rovers. We're back to being top of the league. Hello and welcome back to part 16 of our stint at Forest Green Rovers in our Zero to Hero series, where today we have got two more matches in store for you. The first against Portsmouth and the second against rival Swindon, who are now in 9th place. Every time we look at Swindon, they're in a different position in the league. They're very, very inconsistent. Since you were last with me, we have played through a few more matches in January and made a couple more transfers as well, which I need to show you in a second. It hasn't been the best of form, if we're completely honest. We beat Lincoln 4-0, which was at the end of yesterday's episode. We then drew 0-0 with MK Dons directly after that. Lost 3-0 to Millwall, which is just horrific. Drew 0-0 with Preston and then lost on penalties in the quarter-final of the Papa John's. Is it Papa John's Trophy? Papa John's Trophy. Beat Salford 1-0, lost to Plymouth 1-0, and then we've just absolutely battered Burton 5-1 in a kind of not new look system, but we've tweaked the tactic a little bit. We've gone a little bit more attacking. We're playing predominantly through the middle rather than out through the wings. We made some tweaks. They worked very nicely against Burton, as you can see there. There was 2 goals for Paul Robertson, a goal for Oliver Iro as well. And all of this means we are back at top of the league. I think potentially yesterday we were second. When we were looking at it, we weren't top either way. The thing you might notice as well is not only are we now back at top of the league, not only are we clear top of the league by 3 points, but we actually have a game in hand. Preston, if you remember when we last looked at them, I think when we were last top, it didn't really matter because we were only top on goal difference and Preston had 2 or 3 games in hand. As it stands now, we're the team with the game in hand and Preston have just fallen off a cliff. We've had some bad form. Preston have had an absolutely horrific February and I don't really know what happened. It's the same manager, which is Joe Hart. Apparently, Joe Hart is now the manager at Preston. That's interesting. He's there. He's been there that entire time. I don't know if maybe they've sold a load of players. I mean, they've had £27 million worth of transfers out. So that might indicate it's something to do with it. January, they sold James Black. James Black went out on loan and they sold a player called Fernandez, who was probably quite good. And I'm guessing if I have a look... No, he wasn't scoring loads of goals for them. I don't know why Preston have fallen off a cliff, basically. But it does work very, very nicely in our favour because it means we're top of the league. And we could today go 6 points clear at the top of the league and not wrap up this competition, but be close to doing so. The other thing I mentioned, of course, was some transfers. I don't think anyone else actually left the club since last episode. A couple of players on loan. And Baker Boati, obviously, we saw in yesterday's episode. But on the ins column, we have brought in a couple of players, both of which are loans as well. Daniel Jones came in yesterday's episode from Liverpool. And then we've brought in Kobe Small, a 20-year-old English central defender, just on loan for Arsenal. We're not paying any of his wages. He's not likely to make that much difference. The team will get that much game time. And the same thing goes for Adrian Edwards, who is the 3rd choice left back. But it's just so we had a little bit more depth. I don't expect really you to ever actually see them for the rest of the season, unless we have some severe injuries or some suspensions or something like that, but we were struggling a little bit for depth, so it did make sense to bring those guys in. This is going to be the lineup for this match against Portsmouth. It's Sol Bryan in goal. We've got a back 4 of Sir Don Mattison, Fagan Walcott and Daly Campbell today. Nightingale and Daniel Jones. Not Callum Jones, Daniel Jones in midfield. Iro on the left, Konechny through the centre, McDonald on the right and Robertson up front. The other thing actually that has happened, we knew we made the bid yesterday. Robertson has agreed to become a Forest Green player, although for some reason, I think because he's already on loan, that isn't going to be happening until the end of the season. So once this expires, he will then join our club. I'm not sure how much we've paid for him. It wasn't cheap. It completely wiped out our transfer budget of £1 million. And then there was a little bit in future fees and blah, blah, blah. But I think he's definitely done enough to warrant us keeping him here. I think he's definitely a player that even if we do go up, we're going to want with us next season. Did I just see the manager? It is. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is the manager of Portsmouth. I love being in the future on Football Manager. Some weird stuff happens. If you follow me on Twitter, and if you don't follow me on Twitter, you should go and do so. The link is down in my description. Go and give us a follow on there. I do post stuff occasionally about Football Manager and what's going on in these sort of saves. And I think the one that stands out in my head most recently as being bizarre was Jose Mourinho at Watford. I can't remember what made me notice that. We had someone on loan from Watford. He came and spoke to me. Maybe it was like Romari Ford. I don't remember. Somebody was on loan from Watford. And Jose Mourinho, manager at Watford, having gone through, I think it was Roma, where he is in real life, potentially like Feyenoord, and then gone over to Watford, who at the time when I saw it, oh no, Portsmouth are through here. Oh, ignoring Jose Mourinho shenanigans, be right back with that. Portsmouth have just gone 1-0 up, which is not really the start we had in mind here. We've kept, as you can see, we're still on attacking mentality, which is how we started the last match that we won against Burton 5-1. That, though, is probably not down to us being on attacking mentality and more down to Matterson getting a little bit mixed up with where his feet were and making a couple of poor decisions there consecutively, leading to that goal. Hopefully we just get back into this, though. It is only 8 minutes gone. We've got plenty of time to do so. So, yeah. Jose Mourinho, manager at Watford currently. I think he's still manager at Watford when I last looked, although he is potentially getting fired because they're not doing very well in the league, where they sit 19th in the Premier League when I put that on Twitter. And it's just bizarre. And I love looking at stuff like that. I mean, a lot of people on this channel, a lot of subscribers came over because of a Manchester United video I did last year, which was a 5-year simulation of Erik ten Hag's time at Manchester. Portsmouth are 2-0 up. Maybe we should be focusing on the match a little bit. This is getting a tiny bit embarrassing. Why are we conceding so much here? We're normally, I don't want to say rock solid defensively, because far from it. But we're normally pretty decent defensively, at least. I mean, Sol Bryan there looks like he's trying to do the limbo rather than save a football goal. Could we maybe, you know, get our heads on straight here, guys? Daniel Jones here over to McDonald. McDonald now cutting inside for trying to find Iro, not managing it. Sedon has come back to regain possession very, very quickly, though. And now Matterson over to Jones. Sedon playing that one into Konechny. Bags and bags of space, and Konechny does pull one back. For the neutrals, this is a fantastic game. 13 minutes gone, and it's 2-1 on the day. Daniel Jones here, as we said, just passing this one to Sedon, who does find a run of Konechny, finds himself with just absolute bags of space there. Goalkeeper possibly should have done a little bit better. At the moment, no, we don't seem to be missing Vangelis, and that's probably, I would say, the main thing. I'm aware we're losing right now, but globally, we haven't massively missed Vangelis yet. I haven't sort of been like, oh, that was our main attacking outlet, or all of a sudden Robertson's not scoring. What's going on here? What is actually going on here? I mean, this is the thing. I think the fact that we're first, admittedly, we have done better than I think you expect the team to do when they get promoted. I don't think when a team gets promoted from the league below, you expect them to be then winning the championship, or not the championship, winning the trophy for finishing first, but in League One in this case, not the championship. Just going to clear up that confusion before it even happens. But I do feel, as much as we are doing well this season, a lot of that is down to other teams not doing very well. If you take the example of Preston and the fact that they could have put this league to bed. I mean, they were level on points with us, I think 3 games in hand, and they've ended up losing 4 or 5 games in a row, was it, when we looked at the start of this episode, which has just let us back in. But I don't think that's because we're in fantastic form. I genuinely think that's just we're in less worse form than other teams at the moment, and we're just making an absolute hash of this today. Nightingale there just regaining possession and now looking for McDonald. Can we go? We need to be scoring goals. We need at least another goal in this first half to make this viable. And when I say we need another goal, I don't mean the episode needs another goal. No, stop it. Portsmouth are 4-1 up against us. This is all a little bit concerning. And what do we do here? I mean, realistically, we get to half time. We've got to change something. I don't know what it is. What is it that we need to change here? Tactically, this is just not working today. Do we drop and have a defensive midfielder? Do we go for a 4-2-4? A 4-2-4 is not actually the worst idea because Konechny can get up there. And then maybe... I mean, do we do this? Oh, it's such a negative formation. But do we do this? Can they... No, neither of these guys can even play there. So we can't drop to defensive midfielders even if we wanted to because that doesn't work. I mean, we could potentially have a look at a diamond, but can anyone play in here today? Connor Matheson could do a job, but not a great one. So the diamond's not a viable option. So realistically, our best option is probably slightly more direct and hitting early crosses and hoping we get it into these boys earlier rather than later. I mean, let's put Konechny as a trequartista because I think that suits him better. Both of these guys are on as wingers. I hadn't realised that before. They shouldn't both be on as wingers. So why are they both on as wingers? I don't really know what's happened here. Maybe you guys saw something. Yeah, because this has changed this to a central midfielder as well. Why is all of my team just not what they're supposed to be? This doesn't make any sort of sense to me at all. So we're just having to go through now and kind of check all the players and make sure that we haven't got anyone out of position because I'm sure that probably is not helping the situation. I don't think that's what's causing it. I don't think us shipping 4 goals is anything to do with a couple of players not playing their preferred roles and being asked to play as a winger rather than inside forward. That you would kind of assume is down to our defence and down to our attackers not being able to keep hold of the ball for longer than 4.5 seconds. But I just can't see why that's happening today. We're not playing substantially different. I said I'd made some tactical tweaks, but I am literally talking. If I have a look here a second, it was focused play down the left and the right. Now it's just nothing. We've just taken that off so we go through the middle a little bit more often. I think that might have literally been it. I think the only other tactical tweak we made was we told Nightingale to take more risks and make more direct passes when he could see them. Robertson has pulled one back here early on. But, I mean, I don't think we're getting a win today by any stretch of imagination now because we're going to have to score another 3 goals. And Portsmouth are not going to have to score any as well, which, given how we've been playing so far, doesn't look like something that's going to happen. And is this one just a write-off now? Maybe. I mean, even with this loss, we're still top of the league by 3 points. Rotherham would be the only team that could... No, they can't catch us, but they would then be 3 points behind us, but level on games with us, whereas Preston are obviously 3 points behind us, but a game less than us, and just everyone is tired. Do we just make 5 changes here? I kind of guess so. So Danny Smith going to come on. Aaron Pickles can come on. Lewis Payne can come on. Sukdi, I'd rather not bring on at the moment because he's looking a bit tired. So Daniel Jones can come on. And, I mean, Big Otto can come on there. And we play him as something, a pressing forward. A pressing forward on support. Basically, this game against Portsmouth is gone. There's nothing we can do about it. We're just kind of waiting for it to end and to get to the next match and hope that that one goes a little bit better. Preston are losing 2-0 against Birmingham as well. They've just absolutely collapsed. I don't think Preston are going to be any more of a threat this season. And it's another one, much like our performance there. I just don't really know why it happened. I mean, Preston are now down here. Crewe are breathing down our necks. Rotherham are breathing... We've got 3 teams on 60 points right behind us. So we absolutely cannot afford for this to be a bad run of form. It can be a bad day. It can't be a bad run of form. We have got Swindon next. You'd hope the guys will be up for that, and maybe we perform a little bit better. Steve Sedon is going to be suspended for that one. Every time we face Swindon, we don't seem to have a full team. It happens every single time. We always have somebody missing. But we just need to go do better at that one, really. Let's get over to that match against Swindon, where hopefully we battered them and all is right in the world. Right, ladies and gentlemen, got to the match against Swindon. Nothing really very much has happened, apart from our assistant manager has just left the club to become the manager of Notts County. So we have just got a new assistant manager, which is interesting. It's nice to see our staff going on and doing so well for themselves as a result of us doing very well in this league. Our lineup today, though, to face Swindon is going to be Brian in goal, Smith, Pickles, Mattison and Daly Campbell's our back four, not Callum Jones. Daniel Jones in midfield next to Suckdy, Bigotto, Konechny, MacDonald and Iro our front four, and I think we just drop this back to balance. Maybe that experiment with going attacking has ended already. It worked for the one match. I don't think it worked anywhere near as well in the match against... have we got an assistant manager? Has he joined us? Because we've got nothing here from our assistant manager. Oh, we have. No, I don't know. I don't know where our assistant manager is. Our assistant manager is somewhere. He's been doing the press conferences, so he must exist, but apparently he isn't present in the dressing room when we're doing the team talks, which is a little bit weird, but we're just going to ignore that. We have got Casper the Ghost as our assistant manager. Apparently we just couldn't see him, but he is there. But anyway, I draw back to balance mentality today as a result of that thumping we just took against Portsmouth. We'll just kind of see how we do against Swindon. We'll analyse a little bit the situation. I'm pretty sure we beat them last time. I just can't remember how many by in this league. That was when I think we were first and second between the two of us in the league. Swindon not done quite as well since then in this league as we have gone on to do, but they are on the attack here and being very, very threatening, and we don't like it. And Zach Swanstrom for Swindon has got it's all gone very, very wrong today. I've turned Football Manager off. Full disclosure, haven't played this for about 3 or 4 days. And it is punishing me, apparently. I've come back and it's acting like a neglected child and throwing a tantrum. And it means Swindon and Portsmouth today probably going to beat us, just as a result of me not wanting to play through an entire season in League One all at the same time. Never mind. Daniel Jones here over to Suckdy and now trying to find Iro. I mean, it's awful. Oh, look, Wiggett, who we sold to Swindon, is here. If we could score against him, that would be lovely. Bigotto trying to do just that. McDonald then follows that one up, but misses wide of the post and doesn't really threaten the goalkeeper, which is a little bit disappointing. Did we sell anyone else to Swindon? No one that's in the team, as far as I can see, but Charlie Wiggett there in their defence today. Interesting. They've also got a couple of players that I've looked at before that have been on free trials and the like, and they've ended up going to Swindon rather than come over to us. And I bet they feel like very, very stupid people right now when we look at the difference between the two clubs. I say the difference between the two clubs. The difference in reality right this second is 1st and 7th, but only 6 points between us. I'd like to increase that gap a little bit if we could. Mattison needs to come off. Fagan Walcott's going to have to come on there. Daly Campbell needs to come off as well. Lewis Payne coming on. Make those 2 substitutions. They are quite early as we head towards the 60th minute, but they are substitutions that need making. So we're going to make them and just hope that everyone else lasts for the rest of the match. McDonald getting his head to it there, nodding it forward, but obviously there is literally no one for him to nod on to. Iro far out on the other side, not really noticing that the ball's coming towards him. And again, that is just a poor pass. Why all of a sudden have we decided we can't pass? I mean, I do wonder, now I've just said that, if that's because we've changed to not playing down the wings, and because we're trying to play through the centre, we all of a sudden have forgotten how to play football. It could be. It could be that, because before we try and run down the wings, and now we're trying to play through the middle and just giving away the ball. Aziz here has given it. It's all just going wrong. Look at it. Payne has managed to scramble it away. Now, Daniel Jones trying to launch a counter-attack, looking for the run of Iro, but Iro doesn't really have enough pace on him to go and get that ball, and Swindon are able to just gather it up and settle themselves and potentially look for a ball forward of their own, which they are going to start doing now. They've launched into that fifth gear as they go on the attack, and it's a lovely couple of balls from them. Absolutely awful finish, but a lovely couple of balls before them. Let's have a look at this as well. Iro on a 6.2. I mean, he isn't quite fully fit, but Paul Robertson is going to come off. Finley McDonald's on a 6.2 as well. Asmiel Kabaya is going to come on for him. And we really could do with at least a point out of this match. I mean, 3 would be better. It's our local rivals and we're top of the league, guys. We kind of need to start acting like it. Suckty to Bogotto into Robertson. Coming on as a substitute. He does at least draw a save from the goalkeeper. It's not a goal, but at least it's a save, and it is going to result in a corner for us, which is going to be taken by Daniel Jones into that near post for Pickles, but Pickles unable on this time to use his massive forehead that he appears to have to get us a goal. Konechny is now tired as well. Logan Briggs is going to come on for him. I just need to have a look at Briggs a second in that position. Realistically, yes, he can. Right, shadow striker. Let's put you as a shadow striker. Let's confirm those changes. We continue going attacking and encouraging the team. Rotherham are now level on points of us. Peterborough are now only 1 point behind us. And we cannot let this turn into a bad run of form. And to be honest, it's not a great run of form. We did have that 5-1 win against Burton, but before that, we'd had a couple of losses on and off as well. And we're not looking like champions at the moment. Kabaya into Robertson, but Robertson has something to say about that. His 25th goal of the season. He absolutely loves scoring against Swindon. That does at least draw us level. Fine. It's not great. It's better than a loss. Daniel Jones there. Great ball out to the wing for Kabaya to run onto and just square to Robertson. And that, he's never missing from that range. That is far too easy an opportunity for Paul Robertson to not put in the back of the net. It does mean we only have a 1 point gap at the top of the table now. If we have a look at that, Rotherham 1 point behind us, Peterborough 2 points behind us. And even looking down here, the teams down here aren't very far behind us either. So it is something we probably need to keep an eye on. For now, though, we just need to play through a couple more matches. We'll play through Bolton Yeovil, Crewe, Bradford City. We'll come back for the Grimsby and Charlton matches, both of who at the moment are mid-table, with a view then to coming back for Tranmere and Birmingham, the last 2 matches of the season, where hopefully we're still in first place and going up as champions, or at least if we're not doing that, going up in the automatic promotion spots and not via the playoffs. If you have enjoyed today's episode, then please do drop a like down below, hit the subscribe button if you haven't already, and thank you for watching.